Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse, and today I have some new toys that I want to show you. They are not new, they are obsolete already. It's a bit hurtful because they were very expensive back in the day. So let me just show you where we are at. Okay, this is kind of high-end storage devices. Acceleration, they used to be the fastest thing around, but these up here they are from 2014. A lot has happened since 2014 on SSD NVMe storage. So this card here, which is kind of an NVMe drive, it's kind of a little bit better than the first NVMe because this is an X8 slot, but all the yellow notes here are the notes on each card. And this card it's a company called Fusion.io was making these, but Fusion.io was purchased by SanDisk in 2014, and all the little storage chips are also SanDisk, and this one is a Hewlett-Packard branded one. This is a 3.2 terabyte disk, and let me just go through the numbers. It has a write speed of up to 1.75 gigabytes per second. It has a read speed of 2.5 gigabytes per second. This card, you can't boot from it. It's only a storage device. It's non-boot. And then it has like something, well, it can go lower, but you can obtain like 86,000 IOs when you are writing to it. And you should be able to do 245,000 IOs when you're reading from it. I found the same card on Lenovo's page, and they claim that it can read and write to it 345,000 IOs and up to 385,000 IOs. So that is considerably more than what I found on other sites. And Lenovo, they also claim that you can write to this with 2.2 gigabytes per second and read from it with 2.8 gigabytes per second. I'm not sure about that. Then there is some latency on these, and the latency on this one is like when you are writing to it, it's like 15 microsecond, and micro is very small. When you're pinging something on your computer, that is milliseconds. That's 1,000th of a second. A microsecond is 1,000,000th of a second. So it's 1,000 times quicker. This card uses about 24 watts, and it has an endurance that of the total data that you can write to this is about 11 petabytes. I haven't calculated how much that is, but the endurance is calculated. How much can you write to this card for every day for 5 years? And well, for 5 years that comes out to 11 petabytes, but that's the total amount over 5 years. Hang on, I'll do the calculation. Got it. So over 5 years you can write 11 petabytes to this, and that comes out to that you can put 6 terabytes on this every day. And as it is 3.2 terabytes, that means that every day for 5 years you can overwrite the entire card 2 times ish, just under 2 times. So that is that one. I have no idea if there's any endurance left on it, but I hope that there's enough to play around with it. Then I got this one from my friend Cor from the Netherlands, who have edited a lot of videos for me in the past. I don't know why he sent me this, but well, he gave it to me. This is an Intel solid state drive, and it says up here that it's an NVMe right there. So that's kind of cool. And this one is from 2015. And this one is 400 gigabytes, and it's well, this one used the PCIe 2.0 X8. This one uses the PCI Express 3.0, but only X4. So it has some different numbers Intel claims that you can write to this 0.9 gigabytes per second. That is not a lot. It's ever so slightly better than a normal SSD SATA thing, but yeah, but then you can read from it 2.2 gigabytes per second, and that is considerably better. That is as good as M.2 NVMe drives a few years, like 4 years ago or something. Nowadays they're a lot quicker, but well, back then that was it. IOs, you get about to 230,000 write IOs to this, and 430,000 read IOs. It also has some latency, and if you are writing to it randomly, you get a latency of 45 microseconds, and if you're reading from it randomly, you can come down to 120 microseconds. If you're reading and writing sequential to it, the latency is only 20 microseconds, which is extremely good. It does not have a very good endurance. Totally, you can write 128 terabytes to this. That is only 70 gigabytes every day to this, and it's a 400 gigabyte drive, so you cannot even override this once a day. So this is more like it's not as enterprise as a lot of other equipment, but yeah, this doesn't last as long. But it only uses half the wattage of the other one, so 12 watt for this one. So now we are moving up to something a little bit newer. And this one, it's a Samsung, but it's a Hewlett-Packard branded one, isn't it? Yeah, this is a Hewlett-Packard branded one, and this is a PM1725a. And yeah, this one is from 2016, so 14, 15, 16. And this one uses also PCI Express 3, X8 coming out of it, which is probably also why this was a little bit, I don't know, this was also PCI Express 3, and this is also 3, but this has double the bandwidth. I'm not sure if it does much for it, but it is a lot quicker. This one will do 2.6 gigabytes per second write speed and up to 6.26 gigabyte read speed. So a lot faster than the two others. But the IOs are a bit lower on the write on this one. They claim up to 180,000 write and 1 million read. So that is the best so far. And if you want to write to this, the latency is 120 microseconds and read speeds are down to 20 microseconds. So a lot better. The endurance of this one is you can override this 5 times a day for 5 years, and that comes out to 29.2 petabytes. Of all of these, this is way the best. Power consumption is 21 watts. So now we have the latest, and I don't know if it's not the greatest, but it's the latest. This is from 2017-18. I couldn't find the exact year of this, but at least 2018. And this particular model is from 2019. And so this is the Samsung 1725b, where this was A, this is B. So this is 6.4 terabytes. This other one was 3.2 terabytes. So 3.2, 3.2, 400 gigabytes. And this is 6.4 terabytes. And it has the same PCI Express 3 X8. On this one, the write speed has gone up a little bit. It's 2.9 gigabytes per second. And the read speed is 6.2 gigabytes per second, which is a little bit lower than this one. This is 6.26 and this is 6.2. So also the IOs has gone up for the write. They are 190,000 IOs, and then the read speed has gone down a little bit, so 940,000 in read speed. Endurance, you can override this 3 times every day for 5 years. and it uses 23 watts. So yeah, all of these are obsolete. They sound fast, but they're really not. I have a box here. This is my stuff. This is another option that we looked at some times ago, and this is U.2 drives. They are more or less the same, this drive, as one of those. So you can have like this, and you can have two of them in one slot here, and there are like NVMe drives, and so you can have the newest U.2 drives. But also I have these. I don't have any NVMe drives in them, but the newest NVMe. If you go on Samsung's homepage and you look at Samsung at a 9000 Pro NVMe, you will find some extremely quick numbers compared to all of these older things. So yeah, these are really obsolete, but like 10 years ago they were worth an arm and a leg. Okay, so my idea is that I want to try out some of the cards in this server, but I have a hard drive. This is my backup solution. I have a lot of dodgy drives, mostly 10 terabytes drives that has doubtful drives, and some of them are still okay-ish. So I take a backup of, well, it's the backup, and I copy them to one of those drives. And this drive needs to go into my safe. I have a backup in my house in Portugal, and I'm gonna have a backup in my safe here, and that's gonna back up from video number 800 to video number 1400. That takes up 10 terabytes, and it's copying out to that drive right now. It's gonna take a little bit, probably half an hour or so. Yeah. Okay, I'm done copying, and I want to try this SanDisk. So we're gonna start by putting that in. I already have one of those Intel. That's actually my boot device in this server. So where's the power on this? I have turned on. Oh, it's the rate controller battery that is lighting up down here. So I have some internal disks that is on this rate controller here, and then I have this boot device, the Intel drive, 400 gigabyte Intel drive that does that, and then we're gonna put that. Oh, that's a tight fit. Fusion IO card in the bottom. Let's see if it works. It's a Hewlett-Packard card, and it's a Lenovo computer, so I don't know if it's gonna be noisy and whining, and yeah, you know. So yeah, that is in. I'll just put the cover back on to help with the airflow. Okay, I have totally forgotten how much crap it is or annoying it is to install this, and I think I might be running into issues. I have installed a driver for it. I'm not sure if it's okay, because well, it's a Hewlett-Packard branded storage device, but it doesn't show up here, and it doesn't show up down here either. I'm gonna turn this off now. I'm so tired of hearing it. Oh god. Yeah, I have forgotten how much of an issue it is to install these IO accelerators. They were not easy, and I remember that back in the time they were also quite the issue to get up and running. Yeah, so I got part of the way. I think I have to install the Hewlett-Packard drivers for it, for the Hewlett-Packard IO accelerator software to take it in. but they're not really available anymore. So I'm running into issues that everybody, well, it's an issue. Fusion IO was one company, then they were purchased by SanDisk. Then SanDisk was acquired by Western Digital. Guess if Western Digital is very forthcoming with anything for this card. Not really. I have no idea if I'm gonna be able to get this card up and running here, but right now I need to go do something else. So let's see if during the week if I manage to get this any closer. Okay, I'm giving up on this one. It's just too old and too specialized and just too crap. I did manage to install some more software, but then, you know, when something complains about Adobe Flash Player needs to be installed, well, time has just passed for it. And I was dealing with drivers from 2013-14 to even see it. I'm gonna hope that this one, the PM1725a, which is a Samsung card, I would hope that the drivers are better for that and more, yeah, modern and stuff. So we're gonna put that in and see if if that pops up. It's a bit of a shame. Yeah, I'm not getting any younger, so I'm not doing that anymore. Okay, this is way better. The disk is right there, and right here is the Intel drive or disk in there. So we can run a bit of a test on them, see if they're quick or if they're slow. So we have, let's see, that must be the Hewlett-Packard one. Okay, that's another disk. That's the, come on, that's that one. That's a Hewlett-Packard one. And then there's the Intel drive, and then there is the new, that one. Let's see how quick that is. That's not very impressive. I have seen spinning disks doing better than that. Yeah, this is for sure not impressive at all. Like 213.5 megabytes per second. We can do that on a spinning disk. I don't know what's going on, but something is not up to spec. So this is Crystal Disk Info, and it tells us a lot about this drive, and it seems to be okay. It has been on for 60,000 hours. That's a bit, but it's still 90% good, and it gives us all the information that I talked about earlier. So the drive is 90% good, and I checked with the Hewlett-Packard Smart Storage Administrator, and it says the same thing. It's down here, a 3.2 terabyte SSD, 90% okay. So I'm a bit iffy why it's so slow. So I think for fun and giggles, let's try and run the speed test on the Intel drive in there, the 400 gigabyte drive in there. Let's start that. And immediately we are way higher. So I think I might be missing some drivers or something. I'll go and investigate. Okay, the Intel drive in there surely did a lot better. So you can see the maximum that it did was about 1.4 gigabytes per second, and minimum was about 736 megabytes per second. In this test, I downloaded the Samsung thing here, disk tool thing, that luckily it both sees the Samsung drive. I'm actually not on it there. That's the Samsung drive, and I ran a test on that, and it says that it can sequential. It can read 4.6 gigabytes per second, and it can sequential write 2.5 gigabytes per second. And then there is random read IOs, and that is 113,500 IOs, and random writes is like 91,500 random IOs in write speed. The Intel isn't actually doing that bad in IO, but it's a bit slower when reading, read and writing. So it's 2 gigabytes per second reading and about 1 gigabyte per second writing, and then it's 102,000 IOs reading and almost 78,000 IOs writing. So yeah, this little test, I would expect this not to be too far from the truth. Okay, so let's test the last one. So let's get this out of here again. And it's very similar, so it looks just the same, but it's another. It has the same number, but it's a B and not an A. And yeah, I told you that it was a little bit different. So let's see if. So that's the A, and this is the B. Plus it's twice the capacity. So let's see if it's bigger and better. So there. Oh, and by the way, these are way less noisy in the Lenovo server here. They don't spin the fans as quickly, so for some reason the Lenovo server is not that pissed at them. So this one was Hewlett-Packard branded, and this one should be Samsung branded. So maybe we can see some more, because there's probably some Hewlett-Packard firmware on this, and therefore it's probably it doesn't want to play as well with the Samsung software. Okay, this drive also works very well. My memory doesn't serve me very well. This is actually Dell branded and not a Samsung. It's a Samsung disk, but it's Dell branded. So yeah, this one does about 387 megabytes per second. In this test, which I'm clearly gonna show you is not what it claims to do itself, so we're gonna minimize that. I also did crystal disk info here, and the disk is 96% good, so there's a lot of life still in it, and we can see here that it's an Dell Express flash blah 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 blah. So yeah, 6,401.2 gigabytes. Thank you. So that's that one. Then I open up in Samsung's program here and ran a test, and this one does 4.7 gigabytes per second sequential read speed and 2.3 gigabytes per second sequential write speed, 116,700 random reads and 98,000 random writes speed. So this disk is doing it's doing very well, and it's not very much used. We get some more drive details here about it. We can see that it's firmware. I think it's because it's a Dell drive that you can't firmware update it from in here. And if I try to install the Dell driver firmware update thingy, it's probably gonna be complaining that we are not on a Dell computer. So yeah, really. Okay, it seems like darkness has come upon us. These cards are really quite outdated by now. A lot has happened on the storage front since. They're still quick. You can still be lucky to get them at a good price. They take a lot of power compared to modern things. You can get a lot of speed with just a little thing like this. Little PCI Express board that goes into your system board, and a NVMe disk sitting on it. And the new modern NVMe drives are very quick, a lot quicker than this stuff. So yeah, I would go for this if you're getting something new. If you get something like this for a good price, well, they can be worth it. I wouldn't go for the other one. The SanDisk ones has really been bugging me. The Fusion IO thingies, too difficult to get up and running. Seems like all those companies purchasing it, they had just let it die. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye.